Not then.
I mean, you're just setting me up. You're just lifting me up.
I am.
So that the crash will hurt me more.
No,
the
don't
tides will
think
turn.
like that. Don't think like that.
It's just gonna be you're making it. You're just putting me on a pedestal, man, and I just don't want to fall off. I just want to be chill. I just want to be calm.
But it's okay because you can cope with that. You've played for complexity.
We never really reached those heights, though.
Okay. We
So
tried
it was
to
okay.
build you
it was
up,
more
though.
of it was more of like a jump from a second-story building. I wasn't just like getting kicked off the Empire State Building.
It's just like sprained ankle or something
Yeah,
on the way down.
exactly.
Okay.
Give
All right,
yourself
it's not
some
so bad.
credit. You're the last captain to have beaten Wings at a Valve event.
I think, is that on your Liquipedia? Is that a line? If it's
No, I
not,
don't
it
think
needs
so.
to be. Please update his Liquipedia straight away.
I mean, they helped me out by disbanding after they went TI. They're just like, all right, guys,
We're
deuces.
done. Yeah, we're done. I'll tell you who aren't done are these two teams, TNC and Liquid. Even no one said in his interview, Winter, that he wasn't entirely sure that Liquid would. He said, I think they'll win, but he gave TNC some props in there, and that shows how far they've come in this tournament.
Yeah, TNC definitely overall played well. They had a really good showing across the group stage, especially during the tiebreakers. They played really, really well.
Yeah.
They had a couple of bad games after that. But I think overall, they definitely have a chance, like no one mentioned. But Liquid is just going to be still the favorites there.
Yeah. What's it going to take, Jack, for TNC to win this? Is it going to take something a little odd in the draft, or is it a play style issue?
I think my deepest impression of this series was actually last year, I think, at Starladder when Theben had just joined TNC and they actually played them to a 3-2 in the finals against Liquid. So I think that for this series, I think, again, Liquid goes for these abusive lane matchups and then they go with either mobility or sustain or some kind of push lineup. I think TNC can actually throw them off balance here because they play super fast. They play for these kind of snowballing off kills, constantly keeping you on the back foot. So if they stop Liquid from reaching those timings, or if they punish because Liquid can give up team balance and they're looking for abusive lanes, I think TNC does have a pretty good chance in this.
Carl, you agree?
I think a lot of it's going to come down to the draft. I've seen a lot of what I'd call like 3 support lineups just not succeeding. Like EG notably in their BO1, they had Venge, or they had Rubik, Tusk, Venge, and do they have Sand King too? No,
they might have one.
No, they wasn't. No, it was
game.
Venge, Vilesh, Trolls, the chorus. But it's like Venge, Rubik, Tusk, right? These 3 heroes kind of just do the same thing, and your team fight suffers. TNC is like the one team I've seen make this offlane Sand King really look good, but I don't know if it's as effective against a team like Liquid, who are going to run these 3 core lineups. They're going to have a lot of these annoying heroes. They're going to play multiple lanes, and TNC is all about pace and aggression, and it's hard to play the best team in the world and just beat them down like that. I just see Liquid as like the smarter, more experienced team, and I think TNC's got to make sure they don't play against certain heroes.
They also, it's funny because you mentioned about the 3 support setups. They've also played the 4 core setups where they played the Tiny in the game as well. Ran him as a support, which is very unusual. We don't see a huge amount of that, especially when you 4 strong cores like that.
It's common in SEA. I think DJ was the one who popularized it, and it's very good in my opinion because you have tons of burst damage. I think the tossbacks are really underutilized by core Tinies, and supports see that as a lot more of a tool because you're not as strong. You can't just combo people to death, but you're so good in laning phase, and you just have so many just tools to win, right? Like there is no counter to tossback into instant hacks. Like they're over here now and they're dead.
Okay. Right, let's introduce you to our 2 teams. First up, Team Liquid.
Welcome on stage, Team Liquid. Welcome on stage, TNC Predator.
TNC versus Liquid, a repeat of the group stages and a repeat of the tiebreakers. They've taken one game apiece off them in the DPC so far in the last 9 months, and both of them were last week. Interestingly, similar heroes used by both teams to beat each other as well. So are we going to see more of the same Jack in this game, the best of one?
I would say so. I think, again, I expect this to be a very fast-paced, brawly type of game from the get-go. And it has to go. I think that's how it has to go if TNC wants to be able to take down Liquid in this.
And the battle of who gets what is certainly determined by the first three bans. What are you expecting? Nature's Prophet ban, Lone Druid, those kind of things seem to be very popular amongst both teams.
I think if you're TNC, personally, I think Wisp is the easiest hero to game plan for against Liquid. That was what we chose to do back when we played them in Bucharest.
So you let it through?
You give them the Wisp. I think that's the easier hero because they can't adapt as much once they have a Wisp. You kind of know they're going for this sustain heavy lineup. And I think the Venomancer, the Furion, are must bans. Okay,
right. Maybe
you game plan for the Veno. That's possible. You could see maybe some Animage or later Terrorblade working for them. But it's just such a scary hero. And I think Matumbaman is just it's just too good. It does too much damage, and it's too versatile. They can play it on two players in every lane. And it's just scary to me. So you get rid of that. You get rid of the Furion, and then the last ban is okay, is it Lone Druid? Is it Wisp? Maybe even Chen? Who knows?
See how the draft goes out. Winter, what's the key matchup between these two teams?
Key matchup.
What's the critical lane they have to win?
I think Armel's lane. That would be the key matchup. The mid lane, both players have been really, really explosive when they get a good game. Getting the supports to help them get a good start, or saving last pick for the mid, so you get a counter pick matchup. We saw them did a couple TA games that went well. So I think that's going to be key if they can actually get a good counter pick matchup for Armel or Miracle.
Agree, Jack?
I think Armel has been unquestionably one of the strongest, if not the strongest mid player in this tournament so far. He's just been really impressive on a wide range of heroes. Maybe he doesn't have the raw diversity of heroes that he's trusted to play the same way Miracle does. But whether it's a spellcaster or a scaling core or kind of a carry, he's done a great job on both. So I'm looking forward to this game going on. I think another part of the ban phase that TNC might have to look at, Kyle, is either something like a Coddle or Beastmaster. As far as I can tell, they don't really play these heroes, and that's something that can really slow down the game and hold your towers and offer mobility at the same time.
I don't think they're afraid of playing against those heroes, though, since they do run Night Stalker as a support or offlane, as long as they can make sure they can get those heroes. You first pick, if they're first pick, they pick a hero, they see the Coddle Beastmaster, and you just get the Night Stalker right away. You don't give Liquid any chance of removing the hero.
All right, Liquid obviously getting ready for the first draft of the day. In terms of how they've played at this tournament, how have you assessed them?
Liquid? I mean, they're not on form every game, but when they are, I really think they're still the best team in the world. VP obviously is strong challenger, but I think Liquid is more. It seems like they take more risks with their drafts. They do a lot more unconventional things, but when it clicks, they find this brilliance that other teams haven't found out just yet. It's beautiful, really, to watch. And
yeah, it is.
It's we saw flashes of that in the last game. Vici VP was a really difficult game for me to commentate on because I thought both teams were playing very well. They both had a good understanding of what do we need to do to win, what small losses can we give away. It's a lot like poker, where they say the best players. It's not about winning, how much you win. It's about how well you minimize your losses. You can take the small ones, you can eat them, but if a small loss becomes a huge loss, that's where you lose games. And going into this matchup, I feel like that's what TNC has to look to avoid, is overextending, and all of a sudden you're being punished, not just with like one hero, but now it's 3 and Roche or a tower. And all of a sudden you'll feel like the momentum's just sucked out of their entire team. And they're a team that plays with pace, with confidence. And if they lose that in this game, like they're done for.
Yeah, I mean, how do they protect against that, Winter, heading into because they don't want to change up what they've been doing really well, do they?
Yeah, I don't think they should switch play styles, and they should focus more on themselves and make sure that they get the good matchups, like I mentioned, for Armel, good vision hero, maybe for Sam H.
Yep.
I don't think they're a team that should adjust towards their opponents. They have to focus on what they're good at. They just need to do it well and make sure that they don't get overwhelmed by their opponents.
Okay. How have the supports stacked up at this event in general, as well as these two teams, Jack?
I think, Cuckoo tends to be more on this type of a fighting support. They move together. The 3-4-5 will move together with the Raven as well to get things done. For Liquid, it can be switch up a little bit. Traditionally, obviously, GH gets more of the farm, doesn't have to do much of the warding, and Kuro handles that. But I want to say that, from the drafting aspect, like Liquid is this team where they do some things where you kind of like in the back of your mind, like, is this something that other teams have even considered or thought about at times? In the LGD series, there were times where I felt like they drafted heroes with buyback into consideration, where it was like, okay, if this 5-man lineup might not work, but when we get down to the 8th or 9th hero in these fights, because there was a game against LGD at TI that came down to 9 heroes being alive, then they have the advantage. So when you talk about these Wisps, these Underlords, these Nature's Prophets they draft, it's like, okay, you have to commit so much to kill this hero, but then he comes back in, and now your push timing is because of where the creeps are, because of how their playstyle, because of their ability to go high ground. Now you can't stop the tide, and you're going to lose a lane or two guaranteed. Some of these things, like, I think only when you watch a team like Liquid are you thinking about, like, how deep is the rabbit hole going for these guys?
Yeah, well, very well put.
Yeah. Okay. In terms of the way that Liquid have had this up and down tournament, do you think that affects them too much? They played around a lot in the group. It felt like they messed around a lot in the group stages. I know that Kuro agreed that they did experiment here and there, and when you're playing Carry Weaver in a match, you obviously are experimenting a little bit, but how much does that affect them? Because they said they don't really take the groups that seriously, but they've got to do something to get through them.
Dude, yesterday, the game that they lost, the last game, I felt that was the one. I felt like they got affected. That was the game where I felt Liquid tilted. They actually tilted. They made a few bad moves. They gave away kills. And Kuro was like, I saw him out of position, and I'm thinking that's the kind of out of position captain, like talking. He's doing something else in the game. He's furious about what happened in the past, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes or so, and he's out of position because he's talking.
Right.
And he's tilted.
That's interesting. We'll see whether that carries on today. They are a team that can bounce back from losses, though, Carl. We've seen that in the past, too.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a bounty hunter on Liquid. I feel like that's something they haven't picked in a while, and I think Kuro approaches Bo1s in new series like they're a completely new day, and he tends to just kind of branch out from what they've been utilizing at the tournament. They haven't picked it yet, and I feel like one of the Cuckoo's weaknesses, brought this up the other day, is that as a 5 that used to be core, you hate playing against Invis heroes, and I look at TNC and I think to myself, if we know where they're coming, where they are, it's a big advantage. And Sand King, standard opener for TNC.
I was just thinking about Bounty like before the game started, because I felt like against a brawling team, Bounty not only provides the vision, but it gives you the track goal, so it's good to fight, generate a good hero against a team that plays like TNC.
Yeah.
It's our 43rd pick of the tournament so far for Sand King, which is ahead of everything else right now.
And it's part of the reason I think Liquid is even in this position, because that bounty hunter found them over and over. But they're going to choose to go to the Tusk. Tusk Underlord. There we go, boys. Moving up in the world.
Yeah, they started to first ban this Underlord again in the LGD series, I think the last game. So this hero has been clearly moving up the ranks for priority with them. Again, we talk about how some teams might be hesitant to first phase it, but they obviously think that it's strong enough. And against a team like TNC, against a team that wants to run at you, again, you defend your towers, you have that global mobility, and if you're in a death ball push situation, if they do manage to bring you down somehow, you buy back, you're right back into the middle of the fight, and suddenly they can't defend anymore.
I like Bear Rider against that, though, because I think Underlord doesn't want to play like certain lane specific matchups, and maybe if you have the Bat Rider and it opens up aggro tri lanes, or you just want to make sure that Underlord does not get a good early game.
I'm not a huge fan of that because I feel like Underlord, while he might be weak in the laning phase, you're going to outscale him and then get to a point where you're running in with like a pipe and you have a Lotus Orb, you know, and Liquid wants to play for this timing in the game anyway, and Bat just kind of falls off. You don't do enough damage. You blink into a pit and all of a sudden you're in trouble. And I like the Underlord a lot against the Sand King too, just because, you know, you ep in, you can't stun when you're rooted. Tusk activates the Underlord. You can't really get outlaned anywhere. You can either pull creeps or shard block. OD. That's a bit early for my taste, guys. I'm not a fan of first phase OD.
It's another pick that wants to... You want to ruin the Underlord's game because he's a tank hero. OD loves playing against tanky heroes.
10 seconds
But if you
remaining.
do get the Underlord against OD in the same lane, I would say
5
Underlord will be
seconds
okay for the
remaining.
first 3 to 4 levels. OD doesn't really bully him that hard until later into the laning phase.
Issue is it's never really the offlaner that deals with an OD. It's going to be the core matchups. Like you saw last game where there's this Pugna, a DP, there's a Brood Mother, you have like 3 different silences, a Decrep. Like Ori was in a position where he didn't really feel like he could commit to fights, and when he did, all of a sudden, when you're silenced, like your game is over. So they ban out the Bat on Liquid. It was a good call. I think once there's the OD, then it becomes very scary because, you know, a lasso into 3 thwops from OD and all of a sudden somebody's dead.
I'm looking at Sniper right now because Sniper does synergize very well with the Underlord, and it's really good against the OD pick here.
I think you probably save it for last pick. It's up to you.
4th pick? No?
4th pick's possible, but I don't like it as much when you're 2nd pick. I think you might want something a little more versatile. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see Liquid go for a Pugna of their own, but I think that's going to be TNC's 5th ban. Also to note, they did ban Veno Furion, and they chose to ban the Wisp, but gives away the Underlord. Can argue till we're blue in the face about which hero is more annoying in the hands of Liquid.
And Liquid still have the Lone Druid left in the pool right now. If TNC lets that through, it's seen as a good lane matchup for the OD, and obviously very much fits Liquid's playstyle.
They ban the TB, just a comfort hero for TNC. And yeah, I'd agree. I think you ban like Pugna, Lone Druid, or Death Prophet here if you're TNC. But I think all those heroes you got to think Liquid is looking at.
Pugna and Death Prophet in between those two. Because you have
10
OD, wouldn't you
seconds
have more
remaining.
priority in banning the Pugna?
Team Liquid's turn
Oh,
to pick.
nope. Lone Druid. The annoying Liquid heroes.
Never argue with the Oracle.
It's just because the Radiance effectively makes OD just do 17% less damage because of the burn, and you hit
10
this timing with the
seconds
HOD, and you can just run at OD, and he can't really do anything. He's a hero
5
that needs like
seconds
2 or
remaining.
3 items to really hit a peak timing, and I also think that you don't want to deal with anything that negates your BKB, and if you just have a bear hitting you, rooting you once, like all of a sudden you're just stuck, and you feel really bad.
TNC's turn to
AA. AA Underlord, sick combo, tons of burst amp damage, really good laner with the Tusk. You can rotate around very easily. Just a solid support hero. I think it's probably a choice between that and Disruptor. And when you have Underlord, I mean, either are fine, but I always like AA.
10 seconds remaining.
There's another pick here that's that this
5
kind of sets up.
seconds
Again, this is kind of just like a back of the head type of thing, but something like a Huskar. So we've seen this run like often as like a cheese hero, right? But you have something that can lane against the OD, isn't really too afraid of his damage, and the counter has just been kind of one of the major counters has just been taken out of the pool, and it allows them to also death ball and hit an early timing if they want. So depends what direction TNC goes for the rest of their lineup.
I think it might be more likely they just 4th pick some life stealer, to be completely honest. I think they have a really high value on the hero, and once you have AA, I just think, especially when you're playing against OD, it's just nice to have. I could see it, but if they're going to Huskar, it's going to be last pick, and I don't think you want to pick that with no real save, especially against OD, and something we really haven't discussed is an item that, you know, fell off a bit, but Spirit Vessel is still a thing. And it has made a lot of like these alchemists, the Huskar types, like they're not necessarily unpickable, but they're really hard to hit a timing with.
Last time they played a Huskar was against Virtus Pro at the Bucharest Major almost a month ago. And before that, it was at TI
Liquid's
last year where they played with it 3 times during the group stages and won with all 3.
I mean, we've seen this combo before the Disruptor OD. I'm surprised they took so long to think it through because I feel like Disruptor was the obvious choice like that entire time. It sets up for the Life Stealer from Liquid.
I feel like they might have been considering the Lash. So because they've been doing the Sanking Lash to offensive off lane, and they kind of feel if the enemy has a weak lane, then we can abuse it. But with AA, then it might have just deterred them to do it.
Yeah, I always like Disruptor against Underlord too, because you don't just get completely screwed by the Uber out. You know, it's a
Yeah. It's like a bonus. You don't draft
Yeah.
for it, but it's like a bonus thing to have.
It was like when we were in Bucharest, there was a place where the Uber driver wouldn't drop us off because the taxi drivers would occasionally wait there and beat them up.
TNC's turn to
And that's what the Disruptor can do.
Oh, Visage.
Good pick.
Good HOD hero.
And as always, Liquid has this. I don't know what to call it, like a creep hero, minion hero, something that has some helpers, some little friends that buys Helm of the Dominator. And I think that that's just a key hero in drafting right now. And the teams that don't have one, you can sort of see it, and they often suffer. I mean, we saw last game, Vici playing a good game, but they have so much single target. There's a Broodmother, kind of just takes over the early mid game for free. And even though I thought they played excellent, they were always 1 or 2 poor team fights away from just losing a Rax in the game.
Liquid's turn to
It
battle.
provides some element of vision as well. It's good against the first 3 picks of TNC, right? The Disruptor just gets destroyed by the familiars. Obviously, the OD is very annoyed by them, and the Sand King, you can't really Sandstorm, or you can be disrupted as well if you're trying to Epicenter with the birds around.
I'm not sure if I like the tiny pick. I think it's actually super weak
10
against
seconds
Visage. You
remaining.
just get Solar Crested at a point and take so much damage. It's the same with Underlord
5
AA.
seconds remaining.
You damage amp because you have such status resist. Obviously, stuns can't really stop you. But when you're walking through fire and AA vortexes, especially considering vortex is like a slow that lasts on the ground, so you're always affected by it. It's not something that's targeted, and you just take so much damage that the fact you have status resist doesn't matter. And it's going to be a core for sure. I think, unless they core the Sand
It's
King.
a carry. No, it should be a carry tiny.
Yeah.
Very likely.
But I hope it's an offlaner then, because they need some Raven hero to do some serious work. I'm not quite sure what it is here.
The other
Yeah,
thing
they've
that-
run this before as a 4, haven't they?
The other thing that you say about the kind of a minion HOTD is it always gives Liquid a good Roche timing.
Yep.
And we've seen that just key their pushes so often, right? And with Visage especially, the Roche can go down very quick, especially as a core.
And you can see, you watch enough of Liquid games, and they have a bit of a template for when they really look strong. And in previous patches, this Visage would have been a Lycan. And in previous games, it was the Veno, and it was
Or
the
the
Furion.
Keeper of the Light sometimes with the Agony.
with the Beastmaster. And it's all about, as you said, Jack, allowing them to control the tempo of the game and get objectives. It's all about Roche. It's all about towers. Once you have those, the game sort of plays itself, and you put yourselves in a position where you make a good fight happen, and you're getting a Rax. And the enemy team takes that good fight. Instead, they get, a tier 1, maybe a tier 2? It's not as crippling.
10 seconds
They
remaining.
ban out the Jug. I think that that's a good choice, just because it would have been impossible
5
for their
seconds remaining.
Underlord to really lane against that. They banned the Lifestealer on TNC. I think that choice is excellent. I don't know what they go for here. You could do something really YOLO, pick a Spectre or something, but you have really limited tower push right now. You could go for a Lycan, but I don't like that hero in this game.
The Jug ban tingles my Huskar
10
senses even
seconds
more.
remaining.
Why? Huskar owns Jug.
Well, if you can
5
stay alive
seconds
against the
remaining.
magic damage and Ami Slash when he's low, no save. We'll see.
We'll see. If Huskar is picked by Liquid, I will resign my title as Orikyle, and we will make you, I don't know, I'll come up with something.
Jack Isle. No, it doesn't work.
There's still a
think it's
Lycan
possible.
left in there as well,
Turn
right?
to pick.
Oh, they did this once before and it worked. They're just all in. The ET, I guess it's a Sand King and a tiny core, and they're gonna just smash people. That's the strat from TNC. So we'll see how Liquid responds to this. But I mean, we saw this
10
before. If
seconds
TNC plays
remaining.
well, they have so many stuns and so much catch that they can just sort of
5 seconds
crush
remaining.
people. As Tiny with that tree, Elder Titan with the briefcase, they are rather intimidating. Liquid with 1 second to go.
You may now select your heroes.
Your title is safe, Kyle. It
This is
is a
interesting.
Miracle Void.
They have a lot of follow-up damage, but
Mm.
I'm a bit worried about the laning phase. He's gonna be up against the Elder Titan and the Sand King, and he's a melee hero.
Tough lane.
It's AA Void Underlord, though. I don't know if I've ever seen that
Lose,
tricore,
yeah.
those 3 heroes lose.
But TNC does have a way to win the game. They just need to crush the lanes, and they have really, really strong lanes out. That's possible for them, and just run away with the game.
Okay. Jack.
Feels a bit ult dependent. I feel like they took a page out of LGD's book because these are the heroes that LGD used against them yesterday. But it feels a little bit slow to me, so I actually like TNC with this game.
Okay.
Same goes for me. I think they're going to be able to smash the laning phase and just run away with the game with the Elder Titan.
See, production's already ahead of you, Carl. It's fine. They have your back. They're supporting you through your tough time.
It's Void Underlord. What are you guys on?
We already know the outcome. Oracle has predicted it. It shall be. Therefore, Liquid advance on to Virtus Pro. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back very... No, I'm joking. Let's head to the arena and find out whether TNC can make it through to face Virtus Pro.
Thank you, Paul. Here, arena side, it's Lecoq's back in action for our final best of one. And for one of these two teams, it's also going to be their final best of one, Liquid versus TNC. Now, panel, a little split. Obviously, Kyle not feeling the TNC smash, grab, and rush lineup. Feeling that Liquid have just too many big names and big heroes on the squad. Lacoste, I want to know your opinion on the drafts.
Yeah, the TNC has a lot of burst damage. This is the aggressive lineup, the same style that they've been playing throughout the DAC, but I'm afraid that they don't have enough tower damage. They want to take the fights. They have a lot of stuns, a lot of control. They also have a good save for Chronos in a Faceless Void. Like, they can just send him back with the Glimpse. You have OD's Astral, so they will try to focus OD in the Chronosphere. I like Liquid's lineup a bit more, I gotta say. Again, they are looking into maybe not the 20-25 minute, the classic Liquid timings, but they are looking strong. So they have a good lanes, really. I expect Tusk to help Underlord on top. He's not the hero that can be left alone.
Doesn't seem to matter, though. This freaking big guy always, whatever game it may be, I always feel like I see Underlord struggling in the laning phase. He can go 0-5, and then later on just suddenly turn it up.
Yeah, I'm a bit afraid for Miracle on the bottom lane. He is Faceless Void against the two melee heroes, one of them being Elder Titan with the Stout Shield, so he's gonna harass a lot. So you have two of them have Stout Shield, so that's gonna mitigate a lot of right-click damage.
So do you think Liquid are just going to have to take this one on the chin and deal with the laning phase as best as possible? Do they risk rotating over the extra support and leaving Underlord alone, or do they do some sort of full lane swap-areno?
I think Gah will rotate to the bottom lane after maybe a level or two on the top lane. He will need a support on bottom.
And pull out that third eye. We got tri-lane action to scope it out right now. Matama Man's Visage to go toe-to-toe against Armel's Tiny in that mid lane matchup. Top still going to be GH and Mind Control, dealing with Raven and Cuckoo. And of course, as already talked about, Miracle going to have to put up with the dual melee Caustic briefcase combo at TNC bring.
Yeah, Visage was kind of in problem because Tiny cleared the whole creep wave at his tower, got all the last hits, and push the wave back to the Visage tower, and the Visage is not the best last hitter.
No, certainly not. He's going to try his best to at least pepper down Armel as much as he can, but obviously little Tiny's got that tree. He's going to mollywop down some creeps, pull in some extra bit of last hit action. So it certainly goes without saying that this is mostly on TNC to have a successful laning phase to continue to hold that momentum all the way through. Otherwise, Liquid are just going to play with the clock and pull out a lot of what we even saw from like Vici Gaming in previous matches.
Yeah, definitely. Underlord is that fuel that they need. They have a good counter to an Underlord. I mean, OD, one of the best heroes against those beefy cores. But seems like this patch really favors, and how game is played at the moment favors Underlord.
Do you think there's a chance we could even see some possible nerfs come in the near future for Underlord? Is he getting kind of to that point?
Yeah, could be. I mean, his super late game is extremely strong. A Trophy Aura level 4, 40% physical damage reduction against those heavy right clickers in the late game is just way too much.
All right. Bottom, we have a Spirit flying through. Here comes the briefcase. Look at him go. punching down Kuro with as much
95.
extra damage. Bam! Smacks him once, smacks him twice.
There's
and
the
then,
bash.
oh god, he's eating a lot of tower damage. And now they're looking to turn it around, smacking down Miracle. Miracle has no time walk, but is able to avoid the trouble. But nice turnaround play from Kuro.
Yeah, Miracle was relying on a bash. If he locked him down, they would
top.
get...
They're also going to get a takedown onto the Little Disruptor. So 2 kills across the board for Liquid.
Yeah, they are kind of sacrificing Faceless Void to give farm to Underlord. His 12 CS, same CS as OD. OD is not the strongest hero in the laning stage, especially in 2 versus 2 scenarios, and they have a good setup. Ice Shards, then they follow it up with the Firestorm and the Snowball, so they're gonna keep them in the Firestorm damage.
Mind Control going to continue to be bullied back a bit, but he still holds now 2nd highest CS in the game. Next to Tiny is 20-8. Tiny's 21-8 now to Visage's 12-3.
Yeah, Visage comes online way faster than Tiny because he can just send the birds to a lane, bottom or top, and just help out.
Here we go. More fisticuffs potentially towards the top. Snowball on forward. Raven has to slide through the trees to make it away from the trouble, and he'll be fine. But Liquid continue to set that aggressive tone, one that we were expecting more so from TNC, but I imagine TNC are soon going to hit a nice early peak of burst damage potential between the Tiny getting the extra bit of levels, and of course Sand King going to have opportunity to go for some setups. Looks like he's looking for a setup right here. Kuro, oh my god, get the hell away from me. Tries to avoid the stomp, can't make it away though, he's just too slow. And now they followed up with a Burrow Strike, and they make it look easy peasy. Suddenly GH comes out from the yonder.
Mind Control, top lane, 1 more hit.
Oh, he's going to be fine. Makes it away. Back to GH here. He's not getting caught out. And nice cute shard play forces Sam H to even commit the Burrow.
Yeah, when you play against the Elder Titan on your safe lane, you should block this camp, so he can't get that extra damage. At level 2, he ran with the plus 95 damage, which is pretty huge. AA has no escape mechanism, so if Sanking stun connects, that's definitely a death for AA. I expect GH to rotate to the bottom lane now.
He's
and
stacking
they're gonna have
it
a good
again,
potential.
too.
Yeah.
That is going to be so much potential firepower for Tims to work with. And then later, they can opt to get Sam H in there to farm it up and go for the blink even faster. Very nice. Kind of bit of synergy. Comes in now. He's got 192 bonus damage. Holy crap. Watch out, though. Here comes GH. Moving in. They get the setup right onto Sam H. Good potential read there from Miracle jumping way out and ahead. They are going to be able to get the grab and the finish. Tims could be next. He's frozen in spot. They got him with a little bit of a slowdown with the Ice Vortex, but he's able to make it under the tower safely.
Miracle too good. That's why he got stunned. He's thinking ahead. And
too far ahead.
Yeah, too far ahead. You can't be too good at this game. It actually backfires.
Pump it back a bit. Take the 10K MMR down to a 9K. We'll see what happens. Miracle making it work. 23, 24, and 10 in a lane that was going to be very rough. Here Armel continues to do his thing at 35 and 13. Still that big breadwinner. Is this another stack? My God. Got another stack action down here. Oh, and Miracle's feeling it. He's trying to jump. Tim's trying to read his movement now. And they're going to not get it. Stop.
1 more hit will be enough.
Smack him in the back. They get it done. Tim's punching it hard. This guy hits like Tyson.
250. That's the damage on Elder Titan.
That's crazy. Someone's got to farm that stack and take that power away from that man.
Yeah, the only one who can farm it is
Oh,
Underlord.
Armel now the one in trouble. Liquid, don't hesitate to get back on the aggressive here. And because of the slow, they're going to solidify him, and they're going to be able to finish him off.
Yeah, Matumba Man probably called for that gank. If you look at the CS chart, 22 against 38 and 13 denies on Tiny, so they needed to shut him down.
Yeah.
Now with the birds up, they have really good kill potential on mid lane again, or he can send it to the bottom lane just for the extra firepower.
So Tiny with that early bit of farm has queued up power treads. I'm curious to see if he's a Blink Dagger or Shadow Blade kind of a game.
Well, it could be maybe a better Shadow Blade game, even though Blink Dagger comes online faster. So if you're looking into timings and you want to be active right now, then you buy a Blink Dagger. But he might go for both. Like, he wants to cut into backlines, get the hands on AA before the fight starts, maybe even kill the Tusk, which has that save
Sam
with the
H,
snowball.
a little bit of trade of sentries here. He burrows out and away as GH snowballs forward. And TNC will avoid the aggression of Liquid on this one. The stack power coming back to the side of Tims. This man plus 177. Watch out for the briefcase. Nice two-man stun there from Sam H. Tims moves forward. And now they're turning it back again. Sam H, the one caught in the shards, caught in the cold feet. Jumping for Miracle. They're going to get the finish, but here comes Armel. Fire back with the Chrono now for Miracle.
RNG, let's go.
He's trying to right-click something, but can't quite go for the finish. Gizevo was trying to salve up. He will be able to get the takedown, toss on forward, and they dunk him down. Armel with a double, looking to go for the triple here. The Sigil slows him down, but he's going to get it. The Rockman with his first gank movement, able to score 3. Meanwhile, top lane, Raven continues the streak. He picks up mind control on his own.
Yeah, a lot of action happening. Meanwhile, Matumba Man just pressuring the tower. Glyph is used. Maybe Tusk could have survived there. He had 0.5 seconds on a snowball. If he used that Fairy Fire, it could have kept him alive long enough to actually use the snowball.
Burrow avalanche combo, the Iceman crumbleth. GH could be next. This is exactly the kind of aggression we were expecting from the draft, the smash and grab. Armel and Sam H now tag teaming onto Miracle, going to force him to leap back. The pressure is on.
Yeah, in this kind of situation, Tusks get one level of Frozen Sigil. Just, I mean, in 3 versus 3 scenarios is so good. A lot of action happening, so that's going to help a lot in the team fights, just for the extra slow.
Ooh, Arcane Rune for Armel. That's going to be nice. In the meantime, there hasn't been a lot of pressure for Raven. Raven gets to really do his own thing up in that top lane on the OD.
Yeah, and Disruptor is really high level. Has 6 Magic Wand charges, almost level 6, 9 minutes in. That's, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, I mean, only having to split the lane with OD and probably mostly pulling camps and working in the side means that he gets a lot of that juicy XP. And Static Storm's going to come online that much faster and only adds to the tempo that TNC have been building up for themselves. And now, potentially, a maneuver going to be made onto mind control here. For the first time, we see Tims now take to the northern part of the map.
Yeah, they cleared this huge stack, a lot of gold for Sanking.
Smoke, I heard. It's Cuckoo.
That's a level 6 Disruptor. They want to get the
2 level 6s.
Yeah.
2 level 6s here.
Burrow Strike with the Epicenter.
Here comes. There's the Burrow. Here comes the Epi. Boom! Static Storm. Miracle's like, wait a minute. This Disruptor's level 6.
And the save!
GH with the clutch ball save. Miracle time walks away, but he still holds on. Unbelievable. GH.
What a play from
the bodyguard. Shows up, gets a nice clutch grab. Now mind control. Look at him. He's the haste rune. The fastest I've ever seen an Underlord run.
Oh, what a save there from GH. Meanwhile, again, mid lane is getting pressured by Matumba Man. Level 9. What is Tiny? Tiny is level 10, so he wants to get that Blink Dagger and keep the pressure, be active. OD's farm is uncontested. 33 denies. That's whoa. That's almost 10 creeps XP.
He's going for the record.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a bit of a lull in the fight for TNC with two big ultis now on cooldown. But, you know, as you mentioned, that Blink Dagger is coming close for the Tiny. They're not going to wait much longer to really ramp things back up. Now will Elder Titan get the tome. Yeah, I think he just grabbed the tome, so he's level 6, now level 7. Earth Splitter available. So they have so many big power, team fight ultimates, and potential. Really, there's always going to be something off cooldown here for TNC.
Yeah, they don't have those big ultis. I mean, Disruptor, Sanking doesn't really rely on his ulti. So pretty much one big ulti. Tiny can fight all the time. Same goes for Elder Titan and OD.
Liquid going for the finish on the mid-tier 1. Should be easy peasy here with the assistance of those familiars. Matama Men will pick it up. Got the medallion already done. A crest to come. He's got some good peak potential, but oh my goodness. Miracle drops on the bottom lane. It looks like a combo coming out. Armel and Sand King. Armel with that Blink debut. Makes it very profitable, taking down the mighty core of Liquid.
Yeah, with the Helm of the Dominator, Visage needs to pick up one more creep. I still didn't see a creep from him. They want to pressure the towers now. It feels that Liquid is way stronger at this point if they use the Chronosphere.
All right. Aggressive movement here from Liquid heading into TNC turf. Get a couple of aggressive wards down between the mid lane and the jungle. Armel's just going to take the opportunity to farm on through this bottom lane. He's going to go for the Echo Saber, so additional burst potential on that Tiny to come.
Yeah, once he gets the 30 damage talent plus Echo Saber, that's huge amount of damage, especially a hero like a Void who doesn't have high HP.
And now a strong movement here. We have blinks on Sam H. So lots of initiation here. Sam? Is that what you said?
Yeah, if GH is good, then Sam H is...
Sama. Yeah, sure. We'll take it. Well, look at this Liquid. 5-man at the top lane. They got that Chrono you were talking about. They want to get someone with it. There it comes. Miracle all in on this tower. There's the Fortify. They feel like something's fishy. No one's hiding behind the tower, and they'll just take it. Miracle gets that last hit. TNC hanging nearby, but not really looking to pull out the big defense here. They have Raven, content, moving down the mid lane. He's already got the Force Staff. He'll poke at the tower a bit. We see Armel and Cuckoo maybe waiting for someone to rotate towards this mid lane for a defense, and they want to ambush him if possible.
Yeah, Raven has a 4 staff ready and level 4 Astral, so that's a lot of save potential already. Most of the ODs these days don't go for max Arcane Orb anymore. They just get 1 or 2 levels and then max the Astral.
As long as he's not caught within a Chrono, he has free will to bail anyone out of potential trouble. BKBs have to come in the near future for Liquid, I imagine, but in the meantime, lots of utility for TNC.
What a time to be alive. Your mid laner buys boots 14 minutes in.
I mean, the dude doesn't even put his feet on the ground. So, what's it matter? But now time for some economy play here, with the net worth still in the favor of TNC. I was imagining they'd get, you know, a little more aggressive now. Come on, we got some Blink Daggers online. Got the ultimates up.
It feels like they want to smoke, use that epicenter, and I mean, 2 of them have a Blink Dagger, so they want to use them. Probably smoke's gonna come out right now.
Purple stuff on Cuckoo. He old enough for that? Okay, here we go. He's got a family, I'm sure he is. Movement towards the top lane. It looks like they have eyes on Miracle again. Miracle runs out the other direction, but no, it's on the mid lane. Moves for GH, quick snowball to avoid the toss damage. Moving Walrus Punch, pops the dust, and is able to make it within the trees. It's actually going to be Sam H who falls. GH makes it away. Man, his toss play is superb.
Yeah, a lot of magical damage coming out from TNC. So once they get those hoods up, pipes up on Underlord, maybe even get one on Visage as well, it's going to be really hard to take them down. I mean, Visage is already tanky enough.
Looked like they were eyeballing the Roche a bit, so they're going to try to push the mid lane out. They get one little D ward, but there's still an OBS on the high ground there for TNC to watch Liquid's potential movement. And I think it might be too risky. I mean, TNC has so much potential to jump into a pit, take a big fight.
There is a Dota rule. If you don't use Fairy Fire in the first 5 minutes, you're not going to use it ever.
So what do? Sell it or just eat
Visage has one.
Yeah. Do you sell it or you try to eat it off camera so no one sees?
Just sell it. I mean, Tusk has one as well.
Oh, jump on a lane. How you doing? Heave ho, onto Miracle. Static Storm. He's trying to fight his way through it, but just too long.
Yeah, he just wanted to bash him, maybe lifesteal from that Mask of Madness. He's gonna... I'm not sure about...
Now it's going to be TNC running into trouble, though. Sam H walks right into the root of mind control. Snowball forward, glimpse, trying to separate him a bit, but too slow. Sam H not going to be able to make it away, and a follow-up takedown onto Cuckoo. All right, Liquid respond with 2 kills themselves, and they're looking for more. A chase on for Raven, but yep, he's got that Force Staff. Slides away, but the birds. Hitchcock moving in. Self-Astral now.
Chicken.
Tim's is there, waiting for the stop. Looking to commit it. Oh, he's gone. He's got a Blink Dagger.
The Chicken just delivered a Blink Dagger, so he was able to blink out.
Wow, the timing couldn't have been more perfect for Raven on that one. And our game is now even 9-9 with a slight net worth advantage going the way of TNC.
Yeah, Miracle has Shadow Blade queued up, but I think he's gonna need a BKB. Like they're just locking him down with the Disruptor and the Sanking Tiny combo.
Shadow Blade queued up though. And let's check the replay of Miracle getting, well, dunked. And he moves in. Avalanche toss. Of course, Cuckoo's there with the Static Storm. And he's done. To the top lane he goes. Raven up there. Look at the ward game at this top lane, though. Jesus.
They can actually see them putting down the sentries. Good ward that I think GH placed. So.
Here we still see the back end chase. Raven able to make it away. Good clutch blink delivery and blink out of the Astral. Secured his safety. See a DD at the top of the river right there. Looks pretty tasty.
So yeah,
Miracle,
that's the double pipe. Them build on Underlord and Visage. That's gonna mitigate a ton of damage from TNC.
Yeah, for sure. Burst combo we had just seen on Miracle.
Yeah, Miracle actually switched. He wants to go for that BKB.
That might be the best call. Defense is going to be necessary to fend off the heavy early aggressive game of TNC that is really laying it on thick.
Yeah, with that double damage just picked up, they can go for the Roche Firestorm.
TNC's going to scout it out though. Astral moves in. Elder Titan, one of the best at being able to provide that bit of safe vision. And could kind of disrupt him a bit with the stomp. We'll see. Here comes TNC. They're smoked up heading to that pit. Liquid do need to be careful. Another Spirit out. They're sending in the Sigil.
And they have a good zoning out tools.
They're wrapping around.
And Ice Shards.
Move in, Tiny. He's trying to get the burst on the GH. Takes him out. No snowball save. But they are going to get the finish onto Roche. Miracle picks up the Aegis. Earth Splitter not really going to find a target. And now they're chasing in. Miracle. Oh, a stun return. Static Storm.
Nice.
Cancels out the Chrono. But there is going to be a grab from Mind Control. They're helping to get the finish with top of the Ice Blast. Sam H gets the assisted slide out, but it's not going to be enough distance. Lyrical still, or Liquid. Lyrical is Liquid Miracle put together, by the way. Able to get the better fight.
So that's the trade they will take anytime. Just the Tusk who buys enough time for them to take down the Roche. And the zoning tools, bit of Malice, Ice Shards, they can't really take a Roche fight, the TNC. So it feels like TNC is in a lot of pressure now with the Aegis picked up on Miracle, so they can't burst him down. And it feels like they need to do something. Tiny will be able to split push on a bottom lane.
But have they already now passed over that window of time when they were supposed to really be the heavy hitters? And
I mean,
did they get enough out of it?
Two-man Chrono.
A three-point shot from Kuro. Lands right on top. Raven tries to help out with the Astral, but Tim's could be in a bit of trouble. Running inside is going to be Miracle. They put their focus on the Raven, and they're going to get him down.
The Bash Lord himself.
Pipes helping mitigate a lot of that damage. Armel, though, jumps in. Oh, it does nothing. The pipe, too good. They are going to be able to finally get the Aegis down. Armel's looking for more. Kinetic field to try to slow down Liquid from the chase. Good shard! GH!
Dear God.
So many ways for Liquid to stop them in their place. Beautiful stomp, but...
the team play from Team Liquid is just way too good. These two double pipes mitigating way too much damage at this point. AA is just chilling on the bottom lane, farming, and he can also contribute because of the global presence with the Ice Blast.
But as long as Liquid have that buddy-buddy system, they seem like a stampede of just impenetrable force.
Yeah, I mean, as this game drags, you're going to have an Underlord who is really tanky with those disables. Let's see.
Replay here.
Good movement from OD, though. Almost went into that Chronosphere.
Tries to go for the save. But that Armel was so expecting to get this kill here.
Yeah, but
and it looked like it did
pipe.
Nothing. Look, it does like nothing.
It didn't even look like he has the pipe effect on him.
Yeah. All right, smoke move now from TNC. On the way out, oh yeah, we gotta catch that. It was a wonderful shard block there, but action does continue as we see move from TNC towards the bomb. Shard block out onto Tim's, but Look who jumps out from the rafters. It's Armel. 1-2 punch on the GH. Just a little support takedown to really tank the gank from TNC. Not the worst thing in the world for Liquid.
Yeah, this Tiny can pretty much blow up anyone besides
Underlord?
Underlord and the Visage.
Yeah. And of course, got to be careful of those pipes, but if he catches them, they will not have too many answers.
Yeah.
But right now, it's a lot on Tiny. Raven's starting to just slowly fall behind a little bit in the net worth game.
Now what Liquid needs to do, just get that BKB on Void, which is flying out, and just chrono the OD. They don't have any other kind of a save. Once Miracle is on top of OD with the BKB Mask of Madness, they have enough follow-up damage to kill him first, and that's what they need to do.
All right.
But also, he should be careful about the Blink Dagger. We saw yesterday how Mushi had his Blink Dagger with the gyro, quick fingers just blinking out.
Very true. I mean, the time walk in from Faceless Void is pretty obvious unless you can come in from a good angle. And any quick double click reaction, and suddenly you're Lotus Sphere.
Yeah, there's a lot of split push coming out from TNC. They have a good heroes to deal with the clear wave, especially Tiny. Tiny is still on top of net worth.
Here comes Liquid though, looking to change that. Another takedown potentially on this tier 2, the second one. And they all rally behind their Matama man. Miracle waiting within those trees with that shiny new BKB. I think he's still hiding it. I don't know if they've seen it or not. Oh, mid lane. A bird looking to intercept the full rotation from Liquid. Oh, a shard may have blocked their own team out a bit though. They try to make chase, but TNC, I think they've created enough space to avoid that clash. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, not the best initiation tool on Liquid side. They need to run in with a chrono. No mobility item on Tusk yet. So hard to start a fight.
I mean, TNC, gotta be careful. They're still lingering. And look at this troll creep. He's running in. I'm gonna net someone.
Yeah, look at the Cuckoo on the bottom lane.
He's been there for...
He's been there for a while.
Yeah. I guess he's gonna cut a wave and dip. I'm not too sure.
He can't cut a wave.
Why not TP now? He's cutting a wave. He gets zaps the one range creep.
Wow.
Good work.
Can't even kill the range creep.
And they're also adding pressure onto the mid lane too. But Liquid already have their eyes on the prize as mid, or rather bottom tier 1. Easily gonna get gobbled up. So more money in the bank as they pull their net with the lead now up to about 2K. But you know, this is supposed to be a position with TNC's draft where they should have been in the advantage. Probably at this point and moving forward. So as they fall behind, it's kind of on them to pull this one back. Because the game's only going to get more and more difficult for them.
Since Liquid does not have that classic Blink initiator stun, they will pressure the tower, so they are seeking the fight. TNC is doing a good job, again, trying to split push the waves, evading those fights until they get the items up.
They do have that high ground ward, but GH wants to roll in. Now a lot of rotations here. Cuckoo. He just tried to glimpse back GH, I think, but not going to find the grab there. And Liquid take their leave. That's another tower. They got 3 straight towers. The top, oh no, they didn't finish off that top tier 2, but they got 2 towers on the bottom. Oh, and now might swing it out here. Raven walks through their area. It looks like Mind Control is going to take some of them out. All right, to the top lane they go.
Yes, they immediately wanted to go for a fight since they saw Miracle deeping top, showing himself on the map. Underlord has Heaven's Halberd, which is great against OD. Like, he can deal damage in the fights. Has no BKB yet to pop it before he uses it. Another smoke.
Oak from Liquid. They scout the Roche first. They could grab this Invis. There's no ward there to scout out the
best rune he could get
to disappear. Raven in mid lane. Game sense. He pulls away. Cuckoo though walks in, and Raven's like tries to help him out, but realizes Cuckoo may be tanking this one for him, but they actually both managed to make it away. That one a little close for comfort there. They're still chasing, even inside the base. A stun on the Tims. Liquid thirsty. Same match on the other side. Chrono! not finding the mark.
Oh, what a timing to blink
Good
out.
step back, and now TNC find their opening. They look to move in. Wombo up and down, looking to go for Matama with the pipe, mitigating a lot of the damage. They will lose 2. Raven chasing, looking to go for GH. The finish could be there. Plus, a glimpse, gonna be dodged. Miracle forced to pop his fresh new BKB to avoid being pulled back, but the chase is on. Sam H, right on his heels. Lands the burrow. Time walks there. He's trying to find a spot to juke within the trees, but they got the Thunderstrike. They got the glimpse. They bring him back. They whomp him down. TNC suddenly back into this as they claim 4.
Oh, what a timing. This is I mean, this is exactly what they needed to do. Just lock down OD with the follow-up damage. But they try to make a move on the mid tower, and OD blinks in to save his teammate, I think, and just blinks out of Chrono. Dota is about little things.
It is. Those quick reactions.
I want to see that again, if possible, once they kill this tier 2 tower.
Yeah, this tier 2 belongs to TNC. Their second tier 2.
Oh, the ward plays from Cuckoo. That's going to provide a lot of info where they're moving.
Liquid begin to reform, but...
Yeah, maybe we could say that Matumba Man should not be that aggressive there, because
they
Faceless
really
Void had that Invis Rune, could easily set up a chrono on the OD.
All started with that attempted jump. First they saw Raven, then Raven lived, and they're like, well, Cuckoo's there, let's get Cuckoo. And then, man, Raven's pulling out some pretty good saves. This is a game of saves. GH on one side, Raven on the other. Pulling out all the stops, plus pipes. Yeah. They say defense is the best offense.
Yeah.
And I'm offended by that statement.
That's too deep. My brain can't process that. They're looking for the next Roche. It's going to spawn in 30 seconds.
Liquid want it. Dire already scanning out the perimeter. Will not get a read. So I wonder if they continue to head that direction or feel like they may be safe. But they're not seeing really any Liquid members in the lane at the moment, so they got to know something is a bit fishy.
Faceless Void with the Maelstrom. A lot of items on side of the TNC. A lot of armor items. AC picked up by a Tiny. So he wants to go through the magic immunity. Deal damage that way.
Liquid still very cautiously scoping this Roche area. There is a ward on the low ground, just in front of Matamba Man.
Did I just say through magic immunity or not? I don't know. Like Roche just spawned. They have good Roche lineup with that Solar Crest, Firestorm.
Oh yeah,
this
look at it.
Roche is gonna go down quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the positioning from TNC. They're not there.
No
Let's
way.
choose Aegis.
I mean, they're gonna about to scout it, and then by the time he sees what's happening, it's gonna be way too late. Way too late. I say that, but they're beelining it. They're beelining that way right now. Actually, Liquid decided to pump the brakes, pop the pipes, and prepare for defense. Move in. Epicenter. Absolute chaos. Oh! The Roche is down. Who's grabbed the Aegis? Armel! They get the last hit, and they grab the Aegis on TNC. Disaster for Liquid. Mind Control says, we gotta go. Trying to take his captain
He's
with
not
him.
gonna make it.
Tossed up and gone. Beautiful play from TNC, and these could be the moments
my God,
where we said things have turned around.
Yeah, that's full team wipe. Because Elder Titan slept them inside the Roche pit, Roche actually went out for the others, so they did not have time to actually hit the Roche. And also good positioning from TNC. They came from a different side. They came from the south side, which Team Liquid did not expect. Full Epicenter and Tiny combo before Liquid popped the BKB on Void.
Couldn't ask for a better setup. TNC take 2 huge fights and now begin to advance way above and beyond the expectations, I'm sure, of Liquid here, and they just lost their first racks. TNC take their safe winnings, and they will get the hell out. Oh, man. A best of 1, and Liquid on the verge, potentially,
Let's
being
check
taken
that
out. But
oh yeah, they're hitting the Roche, and Elder
Big
Titan
sleep.
stuns, big sleep, Roche gets out.
GH real far away from the rest of his team there, but yeah, this southern approach from TNC is so good. All right, but we already have more to break out. TNC not done yet. They move in and quickly blow up GH. On an absolute assault here, TNC. Looking to close this one out fast. Nice force. That one from Sam H. Gets Armel out from potential trouble. At this point, TNC may just move through Liquid's turf, drop in a couple deep wards here, taking all their farm. Liquid feeling a bit pillaged at this point.
Yeah, they're taking the first shrine. 2 deep wards will provide them vision where Liquid is moving so they can counter smoke gank. Let's see. Liquid needs to do something. GH just picked up a smoke, so they want to take a fight. Visage is not a hero that scales well into the late game.
Armel just grabbed an MKB. This Tiny can hit like a truck.
Yeah, he wants to deal with the evasion from Heaven's Halberd and the Solar Crest.
Oh man, Miracle mid lane. GH right next to him, but he stuns both! Armel falls up with the Avalanche and the Static Storm. Somehow Miracle pops BKB, is able to make it out just in time. Turn around Chrono. Raven's there though. Astral's 1. Armel could be taken down. There's a slide out now. Lots of saves here from Raven on the outside. They will settle for Cuckoo. But now they're looking for more.
Yeah, without GH, they kind of lack control. Nice birds. Yep. 2-man stun again.
Oh, Sam H lines another turnaround hammer drop. Finishes out Miracle. Does have a buyback, and he may have to use it here. Liquid. There's the buyback. TNC, I think, yep, the safest play is force Liquid to spend the money and get out.
And they need to catch OD in the Chronosphere. Again, OD was out. So 1 save, a lot of time committed just to kill 1 support. And before the fight even started, Tusk was dead, so they need Tusk to control the heroes, especially OD.
Starting to feel like we seriously, and maybe the panel, undervalued the save potential that TNC had. I mean, with not enough additional lockdown coming out from Liquid, or maybe banking so much on stacking on top of the Chrono, once it doesn't work out, they're not left with a whole lot as a follow-up.
Yeah. Yeah, we can see the replay. He saved the Disruptor.
Yeah. Might have been a
and
misclick.
Force-staffed the other one. So
yeah,
huge play there from Raven.
And you mentioned, though, it's like it should be probably one of the top priorities for Miracle to focus the OD in that Chrono, with no one else really having too many saves. But I guess you got to give credit to Raven in his positioning, not getting caught out. Here comes TNC back to the southern front. They'll finish out that tier 3 with 1 quick swing from Armel's Mighty Hammer.
40,000 network lead, and feels like TNC is not gonna stop. They wanna keep the pressure. Next Roche may respawn in 3 minutes, but I still think they will take 1 more fight before because they think Liquid is not as strong. Just keep the OD out of the Chrono, and they should be fine.
More utility coming together. I don't know who was mentioned, but Sam H now has a Lotus. Obviously, that force will already upgrade to a Hurricane. There's the Shivas being flexed from Raven's side. Yules, and now a Vanguard picked up from Tim's. I imagine to go into that Crimson Guard, mitigating that bird damage, helping out some potential tower defense.
They are becoming really tanky. On the TNC side, Tiny, 3,000 HP, 2k gold away from Heart. I mean, it's a percentage-based damage, so Firestorm will deal a ton of damage in those fights.
Radiant Courier.
That's nice.
Sam H just gets it right under the tower. Nice swift blink catching, and I imagine him passing from the secret shop. More money in the pocket for TNC. And they're just always on the side of Liquid here. They are trying to suffocate them if possible and restrict their farm, leaving the supports with nothing. Mind controls in the mid lane. He's a big target. TNC are thinking about it, but they're pinging right behind him, anticipating that Liquid members are waiting in the wings.
Yeah, sadly they can't get out of the base. Visage has enough gold to buy his full AC, which will mitigate a lot of physical damage, but the chicken just died. and he has no buyback, so he wants to go all in with the items. Also, once Miracle gets his mobility item, which is going to be Shadow Blade, he can be the one that surprises OD before he can blink out or cast any spells.
Yeah. No gem in hand, it looks like, for TNC yet. Lots of sentries in the hand of Cuckoo, though, to possibly scout a rotation in like that. But yeah, this one seems to be pretty heavy on the shoulders of Miracle at this point for the setup. But he's third in net worth for his own team.
Yeah, same age. I remember a game from yesterday or day before where he didn't even go for a Blink Dagger. He went, it was against Optic, he went for Crimson Guard and Pipe against Lone Druid, which really paid off, and then went for Aghanim Scepter just so that he has a range.
Oh, a chase is on from Matama Man. He's slowly trying to fly out and away, but they may have been able to catch him here. A move in, a pull back, mind control, stuck on the high ground. Now Static Storm, Molly Wop drop coming in from Armel, monster kill streak. And they wipe the floor with Liquid here. Mind control next to fall. They get Kuro. Mind control just runs out the other direction here. Are they going to even chase for him? Yes, they are.
He's going to find him.
Founds him.
Oh, doesn't use Astral. He Arcane Orbed instead of using the Astral.
Oh.
That would be a big kill. He had the buyback, though.
Still, though, this one all TNC. Up to 17K. Liquid shaking up.
Now Roche may respawn in 2 seconds. Let's see the timer. Oh, that's 2.5 minutes.
Miracle's there. They might jump on the Miracle. They might jump on the Miracle. There they go. Miracle in trouble. Pearl can't do anything to save him. Godlike Armel. Miracle's out. Lacoste, 85 seconds. No buyback. This could be it. This could be the end of the road for Lyrical here. Lyrical again. Miracle here in Liquid.
So,
TNC, the kings of best of ones.
So this is definitely one Raxus, I mean 2 Raxus from mid, and they could go top easily. 65 seconds for Faceless Void. That's a full Hex coming on OD.
2 sets down. TNC going for the jugular, straight to the top lane. No Faceless Void to help him out on this one. GH wants to roll on in, and his body rolls on out. He is down, buyback committed, trying to just stall.
Still, they can take a fight. Once the Void is out, okay, board placed, they need to deboard that
There it
quickly.
is, jump in. And it's on Underlord. He's the big boy who could try to slow the push. But if they can finish him off, Vanguard, Pipe, everything being popped right now, mitigating as best as they can, but no, they can't do it. Mind control going to be down. Buyback force, still 15 seconds for Miracle to be back.
A lot of buybacks from Liquid. Still 10 seconds for Miracle to spawn.
I think TNC might take their leave. It's taking a little too much.
Yeah, Roche is being pinged out 1 minute until it spawns. This is the 3rd row, so it means double whoever gets it.
Double whatever.
Yeah, so if Faceless Void could get the hands on that refresher shard, this could be a turning point.
True. What was it, that Vici game yesterday? Paparazzi big, Chrono clutch, Aegis grab, turn things around. I don't know if they were as down as far as Liquid are now.
TNC doesn't have vision of the Roche pit, so Sam H immediately buys back.
Raven stalking mid lane though.
He can blow up that Void easily.
His team's right behind him though. I think Raven sensing. But able to read, they don't see him in the mid lane, so they have to assume that Liquid are waiting on that high ground. What do TNC do about it? They're smoked on the low ground, they're gonna scout it out, they're gonna see him. Do they just consider jumping in? I mean, one team fight here, that's game. Respect though from TNC. Know that also a dramatically lost team fight could get Liquid back into this a bit.
They're in the Roche pit.
Maybe it's do or die for Liquid, knowing that they need to have this Roche. There's the initial stomp. Catches out Miracle. TNC maybe looking for a deja vu play here. Earth Splitter. He jumps out. They jump out of the pit. They're bailing out. They're not looking to go for the finish on Roche just yet. Chrono only onto the Roche. Miracle wants to guarantee the finish and grab the Aegis. It was TNC getting the last hit, but now they're making a move to the high ground. Good sidestep to avoid the Ice Blast, but Armel frozen up a bit. He gets some assistance coming in, turns around, smacks on the Miracle. Miracle eating a lot of damage, stalked up. The Aegis is brought down.
Has a refresher shard.
Looks to come back, could pop it. Doesn't use it yet. Now he does. He has a Chrono and a BKB and everything back up.
He wants to go in. They have a Sentry Ward there, but the creeps are dealing too much damage at the base. Tier 4 are
Oh
threatened.
my god, yeah, their base is in trouble. Oh, jump from Miracle. Gets a good Chrono onto 2, but how much damage can he do? Meanwhile, Matama Man putting his focus on the Raven. Raven able to slide out the other side. Armel very low, tries around the corner. Big epicenter to come in behind from Sam H, but now Sam H in a bit of trouble, has to use himself. Armel, up and down grab, Miracle's gone. 70 seconds. Raven godlike now, too.
That's a game.
This might be it, Liquid. Their DAC future now crumbles before their very eyes as it's mind control alone, trying to defend. Creeps. It's over.
AG is called.
Liquid's road ends here. TNC will secure a spot into the top 4.
Man, this aggressive lineup from TNC really paid off. I think this game could have been different if Miracle got that Chronosphere
Mid
on
lane.
a Void on that mid lane. If OD didn't jump out, I think it would have been definitely a different game. Liquid would be in the driver's seat.
Liquid, I think, just felt a little too comfortable at that point. Got a little ahead of themselves chasing down for TNC members even inside the base, and TNC recognized the positioning from Liquid, pulling out the clutch saves. And man, they always look so good in these best of ones.
Yeah, I gotta give credit to Armel. I think Armel is the best mid laner in SCA right now, definitely.
Wow,
And,
yeah.
and definitely one of the top contenders for the world as well. His positioning in the team fights, and look how active he is. He's in 26 out of 34 kills.
That is
also,
crazy.
gotta give credit to Sam H. Those 2-man, 3-man burrow strikes.
He was hanging like top 3 net worth for a lot of that game, and he, like you said, landing so many 2-man stuns, so many setups. An absolute treat to watch. Congratulations to TNC. Liquid, unfortunately, their major curse will continue, but these guys are TI winners. I'm sure we're going to be seeing plenty of them in the future. And that's going to wrap things up for me and Lacoste. That's our final best of 1, my brother. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's send things out to the panel to get their thoughts on that great match.
Thanks very much. Great work. Particularly enjoyed the 1v1s as well yesterday to Lacoste and, of course, Coddle Guy. That is it. North America are done. South America are done. And Europe are now done as well. It's official. The top 4 is dominated by the SEA region. TNC join Mineski to guarantee themselves some DPC points. Let's break down the wonderful victory for them against Liquid with our 3 panel members. Carl, we'll start with you. Because the Oracle was wrong. I can't even believe those words have exited my mouth.
All I can do is tell you who's going to win more times, right? If we play that game 100 times.
Not every time.
Liquid's going to win 70 or 80. It just so happens that in this reality we find ourselves in, Liquid unfortunately
Why is that
lost
the case?
game.
Why is that the case?
I think the OD blinking the Chrono near the base behind the tier 2 mid, like Miracle was invis. If he looks to Chrono like 5 seconds later and gets the OD +1 in the base, that's a totally different team fight. But as soon as Chrono's whiffed, then there's a 2-man stomp on the Visage and the Underlord. All of a sudden they lose 4-0, and it's a huge wipe. Then that second fight at Roche, they don't BKB the stomp. All of a sudden, they just kill Void before BKB in the pit. They get Aegis. They kill an extra because Tusk tried to save, and all of a sudden, Liquid's in an unwinnable position. But I'd say I'm still right.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I think you were right about the lineups being much more favorable for Liquid, but in Dota, anything,
That's not always how it works out, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Couple of lucky plays for TNC, but also on top of that, Winter, they played really well.
Yeah, they did.
It's similar with the last game yesterday, Vici against Mineski. We felt like Vici had the better lineup, but Mineski somehow played much better, and they won the game. So things still do happen, but I would say this game in particular, the draft between Liquid and TNC has a further disparity than the Vici and Mineski lineup.
Yes, Jack, impressed by TNC?
Yeah, absolutely. They came out strong in lanes, kind of how we expected to. Liquid has this great synergy that they often draft for, obviously this time based around Roshan and abusing that Firestorm, and the fact that it's so hard to contest this Rosh. You have the Visage Familiars, you've got the Underlord, and you have the obviously the Void as well. So in spite of that, they were able to get a Roshan, but they still have to be able to take a big winning fight to convert that into objectives, and so much of that is dependent on Chronosphere. You saw how well TNC kind of avoided and skirted around this Chrono during these crucial fights, and then once the Chrono is down, that's the big control that's basically gone from the side of Liquid. TNC are free to take these smaller skirmishes around the edge of the fights, and that's what they did. And basically, I mean, yeah, the draft is a big part of it, but it comes down to execution at the end of the day. TNC had to execute really well to win this game, and they did. They got the job done.
I think see the disappointment on the faces of Liquid after that as well.
Indeed, I think that this is a rough game for them because you know that you had the ability to win it, and just a couple things don't go your way. That's just the way Dota works. Sometimes you get the Chrono, you win the game. Sometimes there's a blink 0.2 seconds earlier, and all of a sudden you're wiped.
This is a downside of taking a break, though. Liquid played the previous event with the coach, and TNC, they were practicing all the way. You know, I don't want to like blame it on that, but Miracle did have like a poorer performance this game. This is not the only game that he played badly. This is not the only game. In the group stage, there were a couple of games. He had a great game on Prophet a few days ago, but this game he had a much worse game.
I think it's hard, though, when you consider he was landing up against the ET Sand King. I think they would have done much better by him if they put him against the OD with like a tri-lane there, or even just like Tusk to help him out at the start. Let Underlord suffer against this ETSK. They also failed to block the hard camp, which was stacked early by the ET. So all of a sudden he's running in with a briefcase and a bonus 200 damage. Game's hard. And
all right, let's hear from him now.
难道是专门为了 Liquid 准备的吗？还是只是就是哎，我们觉得这套阵容好用，所以就选出来了。
All right, first of all, congratulations on the win. You guys did it. You guys beat the TI champions, Team Liquid, you know? So the draft that you guys picked, was it specifically something that's tailored towards Team Liquid, or was it just something that you guys are comfortable with?
I think it's just something that we are comfortable with. It's just, their draft is like, they just keep sticking together. That's why, yeah.
Team Liquid's draft or your draft?
Their draft.
Their draft.
Yeah.
他就说，他们选择这阵容，主要就是因为他们感觉自己非常善于打这个阵容，然后他们认为他们能打赢 Team Liquid， 是因为感觉 Team Liquid 组合太偏向于就是团战了。
那么说到这个阵容方面的针对问题，我们也很多人都说 TNC 是可以说是小 VP 的感觉，无论是风格还是这个阵容上。那么下面一场比赛即将跟 VP 进行一个 BO3了，有没有准备一些什么东西？有没有紧张一点？
So a lot of casters and commentators have claimed that TNC's playstyle is like a mini VP. And now that you guys are playing up against VP themselves right next, do you think you guys can hold up against them?
I'm not sure about that, but we're doing our best against them. Yeah.
自己也不确定能不能打过，但是我们会尽力的。
好的，那么我们也是再次感谢阿喵接受我们的采访，感觉好像稍微有一点点紧张，没关系，来，我们接下来为我们现场的幸运观众抽奖。来，我们有请李小姐送出这边由主办方完美世界游戏准备的亚洲邀请赛的选手服。
More signing of shirts, more giving away to lottery winners from the box as well as we leave it there. Winter, do you want to carry on with what you were saying just before?
I lost my trail of thought.
Okay.
But I would say that they match up pretty well against VP because they play really fast, and that's what VP do. So I'm excited to watch that game later this afternoon.
The Battle of the Orange teams, which we can see in the bracket right now, actually, as we go down to the last 4 teams. The 4 getting DPC points will be LGD, Mineski, Virtus Pro, and now TNC, of course, who have moved on into that bracket. And that's very interesting, Kyle, because only one of the top 4 teams getting points means someone's going to lose out, and that someone actually is Na'Vi, who've now gone outside the top 8, and EG could also move outside the top 8 as well. And I think they might, based on this last game.
So. I mean, I believe they're knocked. It depends. I think if LGD wins or TNC plays top 3, I think are the conditions for EG to be knocked out as well. And I think
yeah, I mean, LGD
LGD
or Mineski have to get to the grand final, so one of them's going to finish second, so they'll have more points than EG. Mineski already have more points than EG, so yes, if LGD get to the grand final, they'll jump above them. If TNC get up there, they could jump above them as well. It's going to take Virtus Pro to win this tournament to stop that happening in one way, but also not with LGD in there, with Mineski in there instead. So, Lord knows, it's all getting very funky inside the DPC now.
Indeed, and I think it'll cause a lot of interesting conversations, some perhaps spearheaded by our boy Jack here about EG still receiving direct invites. Even to
Jack holds
with
all the
12
cards
teams.
in North America right now.
He does.
All the what?
Jack's like, wait, what?
Well, I mean, if you're going to invite one team from a region, and obviously like a team that brings a lot of fans, viewership, has a lot of talent, then for North America, it would make sense if the highest point total team is EG to invite them.
But don't you think they should invite the best North American team?
Well, we could just qualify instead. But either way, I'm in a corner here, guys. Help.
Well, it's time for a break, Jack, so I'll help you out, because we'll head towards a break right now and get Jake out of a sticky situation. Another two teams who aren't in sticky situations will be in action next because they've managed to make their way through the entire upper bracket. It will be Mineski versus LGD. It's the upper bracket final coming next.